Hello, it is Monday, December 30th, 2024, back here for Daily Shakeup number 996. And today I want to talk about two topics that seem kind of inconsistent, but you'll see how they fit together. And it's multitasking and sleep. Multitasking and sleep. Now, if you're like me, you probably got that there's some connection there, but here's the connection I want to highlight. I have found that multitasking and sleep have this in common. There is tons, and I mean tons, truckloads, truckloads and truckloads of research that shows that only a very small percentage, I believe it's less than 1% of the population, can actually multitask. Now, we all think we can multitask, but only 1% or less than that can actually engage in multitasking. Similarly, I'm not sure if it's as low as 1%, but only a tiny, tiny percentage of us can do well and do it in a healthy way with less than 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Now, here's the funny thing about the connection. Even though it's a small percentage of people who can actually multitask, a very small percentage of people who don't need, for good health and mental, physically, emotional health, all those things, don't need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And yet, I'm going to exaggerate only slightly, 99% of us think we're in the 1%. Everybody I know says, well, I'm one of those multitaskers. I don't need any more sleep. I just wake up. Well, see, that's the thing. Just waking up doesn't mean you need less sleep. It just means you woke up. And there's so much research today that says for our mental, physical, emotional health, anti-aging, you name it, reduce stress, better mental health, better relationships, better leadership, you name it, it requires high quality rest. So my question to you multitaskers and lack of sleepers, what it is it that compels you to believe that even though it's a tiny percentage of the people who can multitask and who don't need those 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that you believe you're one of the ones, one of the magical ones, the special ones? What is going on in your life that you need to feel so convinced that you are in fact a multitasker and that you don't need more sleep? What's going on, people? Something is off course here. Now, you may be chuckling. I'm making light of it, but it's not light. We are not healthy in so many ways, and both of them are impacting us. Our failed attempt at multitasking keeps us from being present and creates additional stress. This, I got to go, I got to go, I got to do a dozen things and not just one thing. I don't have time to sleep. Or the famous, I'll sleep when I die. Well, and maybe you'll die earlier, but maybe you're dying different way. Because think of the basics of what way are your relationships being impacted because you're not getting enough good quality rest. I could go on and on about this. I just want you to pay attention to this. Most of us can't multitask. So stop trying to convince yourself you can. And most of us need more rest than we're getting. It's time to find a way and unwrap our stories that I don't need sleep or I do fine as I am. But are you? And what's so important to convince yourself that you are? That's my thought for today as we're on the eve of the new year.